Our guest today is Jidofor Onwemelu. Jidofor is a seasoned sales manager and engineer with extensive experience in industrial automation, the Internet of Things, and IT security across various sectors. Indeed, he has a track record of leading successful high-tech sales teams in Nigeria and West Africa. And that's what he's here today to talk with us about, the rising technology opportunities and impacts in Nigeria and West Africa. So, Onwemelu, welcome to the program today. Now, with your experience in various industrial verticals like oil and gas and financial services, healthcare, in Nigeria, how have you seen the integration of technologies like the Internet of Things or industrial automation evolve over the years?
Thank you very much, Kevin, for this opportunity and to have me today. Yes, interestingly, the Internet of Things and industrial automations have continued to drive notable advancements across the sectors that you mentioned. And I'd love to highlight more on public services later on, okay, while narrowing geographically to West Africa, even though we have challenges, okay, such as the infrastructure development and data privacy concerns as well. And if we don't address this fully now, okay, we'll not enjoy the potentials of these technologies. So during the early stages of 2000s in the health industry, we witnessed initial automation such as the digitization of health records. Fast forward it to 2010s, we had the implementation of electronic health records in some urban hospitals to improve records management until late 2010s and the 2020, when we started experiencing remote consultations by fostering collaboration within systems, resources, and even the patients. Okay, thanks to AI and data analytics. So yet again, taking it down to my region, Nigeria, we are still behind, okay, which translates to great opportunities. So in the financial services sector, there was introduction of basic online banking services, ATM networks, and mobile money platforms, okay, like the M-Pesa and Paga in the early 2000 stages. The late 2010s and 2020s, okay, saw the growth of fintech, okay, solutions leveraging Internet of Things, okay, for personalized financial services. In the public sector, there was just the introduction of e-government portals mid-2000, okay, memory serves me right. Then 2010s and beyond saw the initial smart city projects and traffic monitoring, okay, that kicked off with the implementation of IoT devices. Then the digitization of records such as tax filing, business registration, and information dissemination, okay, as e-government initiatives across those boards. In fact, this is when we started seeing the transition from paper-based records to electronic systems in various government departments. IoT and automation started evolving in 2010 when government agencies started deploying IoT devices for data collection. This is when the integrated information systems, okay, started developing till date. So I must add that we see a future trend of integration of blockchain and IoT devices for secure and transparent data management, particularly in areas like land registry, public procurement, demographic agencies, and the financial services, okay, could really translate into opportunities. Yeah.
So you mentioned quite a bit of evolution here over the last 10, 20 years or so, but you still mentioned that you felt Nigeria was somewhat behind. In what ways?
Yeah, so in the ways that we're behind, okay, because we've not really started appreciating, okay, most of these technologies, okay, and it's really looked like a nice to do to us, but we've not really seen it as a must to do. So this is one of those areas. So, yeah.
Okay. And in your experience and your opinion, how do the disciplines and strategies associated with digital transformation and process innovation differ in Nigeria versus what we experience here in the US?
Yeah. So these are two different economies with wide differing GDPs. Okay. Similarly, their digital transformation and process innovation differ due to variations in the economic and infrastructural developments, regulatory environment, cultural context, resource availability. For Nigeria, Nigeria has seen barriers such as limited power supply and internet access. Okay, budget constraints limit the scope of the digital transformation initiatives, contrary to the United States, okay, with higher availability of funding and investment. This is consistency in if you add consistency to it, okay, there is inconsistency in regulatory framework, okay, and high risk of data harvesters. While in the US, is a clear and supportive regulatory framework with strong emphasis on data privacy regulations such as the GDPR. So it's cultural adaptation in Nigeria in that strategies need to account for local cultural contexts and usage patterns, particularly in rural areas, while in the US, a culture of innovation drives the adoption and development of new technologies. There is adoption of advanced technologies like AI, IoT, blockchain, robotics for process innovation in the United States, while we have adoption of locally developed technologies and innovations down here. This calls for collaboration between the two countries in technology transfer, capacity building, and joint ventures to accelerate digital transformation and process innovation to fulfill untapped opportunities, okay, which is our core at JDN Consulting Services. Other differences, yes, we see use of pilot projects and phase rollouts to test and refine process innovations before broader implementations, mostly in Nigeria. But in the US, okay, there can be instantaneous approach, okay, focusing on scalable solutions and seamless integration of new processes, okay, from existing systems. Yeah. So while the strategies and the disciplines for digital transformation and process innovation differ between the two countries, they can learn from each other's experience and best practices to address their unique challenges and leverage opportunities for growth and development. So hence, having a resource or consultant to bridge the opportunities is as significant as the disciplines and strategies for digital transformation. Yeah.
And where do you see the opportunities? Can you give us some specific examples about where digital transformation can be applied in Nigeria today and the specific opportunities rising in Nigeria and for US tech companies that may want to partner and collaborate on those opportunities?
Yeah. So digital transformation, IoT, industrial automation, all are making substantial impacts, okay, across various sectors in Nigeria, driving efficiency, innovation, and growth in business operations. For instance, the Nigerian Customs, okay, has recently deployed and implemented integrated customs information system. This system automates custom processes, okay, which includes cargo tracking and payment of duty. Okay, the impact of this automation is that it has reduced fraud and improved revenue collection. Let me give you another example. Okay, the NPC, National Population Commission, okay, continues on its digital transformation by introducing digital vital registration self-service on its website. The impact of this is that the data is integrated from multiple systems in a cost-effective manner and thus improving the electronic civil registration and vital statistics. Okay. However, more work still needs to be done as this structured data, okay, from the vital reg systems and the unstructured data from other sources, we need to administered. They need to be administered in content servers for collaboration, integration with lead applications, okay, and even archived. So many more of all these examples are there.
Now, Jidofor, you've worked for companies like SAP and Cisco and others, and you've dealt with rather complex IT solutions using SAP, OpenText, and other cloud delivery models. How do you ensure that your clients understand the value and the ROI of these solutions?
So, yeah, certainly. Over the years, with these companies, value and return on investment, okay, must be justified, especially for complex IT solutions. I do start by conducting detailed needs assessment to understand the challenges and goals of these clients. I build the cost benefit analysis as a business case, clearly showing value proposition, which contains the articulated benefits, okay, like cost savings, revenue growth, and competitive advantage, okay, giving examples of success stories. Where applicable, I do offer a proof of concept, okay, as pilot implementation, just as like I mentioned before, okay, just to demonstrate the effectiveness of the solution on a similar scale. Capacity building as a comprehensive training is, okay, I provide it as well to ensure that the client's team, they will understand how to use the solution effectively and maximize value. Okay, change management is critical. Okay, I don't leave it out. Yeah, because it's about the people. Okay, their adoption and successful use of the new solution will be a significant factor. Okay, in determining the overall success of the initiative. So I build a change management roadmap, okay, to create climate for change and communicating that change. So finally, I offer ongoing support for system maintenances and updates while showing how the solution can scale with the client's business and adapt to future growth and change. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about sales in Africa and Nigeria specifically. You have a strong record of achieving substantial high-tech sales. What strategies do you believe are most crucial in your region for driving high-value sales in today's competitive market, especially in the tech and digital transformation sectors?
Yeah, you're spot on, Kevin. Truly, I have attained considerable traction over the years, okay, in sales, and I have had rewards, including but not limited to family all expense paid trip to the islands. Okay, for me to achieve this in this competitive market, uh, um, there are several strategies that are key to success. Firstly, I build strong relationships, focusing on long-term partnerships rather than just one-time sales. Value-based selling is key. As I mentioned earlier, articulating a unique value proposition addresses specific pain points. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, okay, and it delivers business benefits as well. I had a client, okay, some time ago who was hugely indebted to my company, but I must show new technologies, okay, that will be beneficial if they swap shelves, okay, and have their indebtedness written off. This way, they still have their initial investment, okay, and also enjoy the new technologies. Okay, I also built a compelling business case to demonstrate return on investment and long-term value. In addition to that value-based selling that I did, I adopt a solution-oriented approach like consultative selling, just to act as a trusted advisor, okay, and rather than just a traditional salesperson. I try to make my pricing as flexible as possible, okay, by aligning cost with the client's cash flows. Okay, this can always be achieved by, by subscription-based selling, okay, cloud. I also try to ensure to adapt my strategies to fit the local market conditions, business dynamics, and cultural nuances as well. Okay, so these are crucial and they are key to success, Kevin.
You mentioned the importance of relationships and building and maintaining those relationships to really drive revenue. Can you provide an example of a particularly successful partnership and what made it effective?
Yeah, so building and maintaining strategic partnerships, okay, and a kind of indirect sales channels, okay, to drive revenue. It actually requires a kind of multifaceted approach, okay, honestly, Kevin. Firstly, you must recruit partners whose goals align with your goals. That is key number one. Okay, I always ensure they have strong presence in my target market. Okay, while defining clear and mutual objectives. Okay, for partnership. Okay, including customer acquisition metrics. Okay, and I try to maintain regular cadence meeting and to evaluate their marketing plans. Okay, provide the support, marketing collateral, technical documentations, and other sources to support their efforts. Okay, these are a few of the many activities. Okay, that we already mapped out in joint business plan. So an example of a successful partnership, okay, was during the implementation of open text enterprise content management at a larger conglomerate, okay, within the country. So the project lacked adoption, and as expected, employees preferred their traditional ways of working. I had to engage my consulting team to collaborate and guide the partner on change management plan with stages of development, updating, okay, and execution, okay, while ensuring that the different roles and responsibilities are really adhered to. So the communication plan that was developed earlier in the project was maintained by the partner, while my consulting and quality assurance team provided the oversight functions and the training part of the change management.
We are here today with Jidofor Wemalu, and we are talking about digital transformation, high-tech sales, and the technology opportunities and impacts in Nigeria and West Africa. Jidofor, it's been great speaking with you today. We're almost out of time, but before I let you go, one last question. From your point of view, what should tech executives and sales leaders be thinking about now and strategizing for today in order to be prepared for the world in 5 years' time?
Okay. So to be prepared for the world in 5 years' time, I advise executive and business owners, okay, they should actually focus on several key areas, okay, including exploring digitization opportunities for global expansion, okay, especially in the emerging markets like Nigeria, okay, while understanding that cultural nuances, okay, and market demands of the region. It actually be beneficial if they can cultivate an agile and adaptable business model, okay, that can respond to market changes, building partnerships, okay, and ensuring seamless omnichannel presence, okay, will provide consistent interactions, okay, across all touch points. And secondly, they should be thinking of integrating sustainable practices, okay, to the kind of, take for instance, reduce footprints and deforestation. They need to start thinking of developing remote work policies and providing advanced virtual collaboration tools, okay, from a kind of a workforce transformation perspective, okay, and finally, they need to start collaborating or think to collaborate more with tech startups, okay, and foster on innovation-driven company culture. So by focusing on all these areas, okay, they can create a forward-looking strategy, okay, that will help prepare their organizations for the challenges in the next 5 years. This proactive approach will actually enable them to stay competitive and drive growth as well.
That is Jidofor Onwemelu. You can find him at jdnconsult.com. That's jdnconsult.com. Jidofor, thank you so much for being our guest today on the Digital Transformation Podcast.
Thank you very, very much, Kevin. I truly appreciate this opportunity.